This episode of the Off-Road Podcast is sponsored by Warren Medical Gear Outfitters and Colby Valve.
Off-Road Podcast 402, Lifeline Fab.
Tonight, Aaron drops it like it's hot, Coy goes on an Easter egg hunt, and Ben is collecting a participation trophy.
Welcome to the Off-Road Podcast. I'll talk about everything off-road. We cover the news, review products, and interview people in the off-road industry. The hosts tonight are Aaron, and my name is Coy. Welcome to the show.
Well, Coy, what did you do over the weekend?
Oh, I mean, you know all about it. We went and did a little off-roading ourselves 2 weekends in a row. So,
yeah, we're on a roll.
Yeah, on a roll. I got one more weekend of this, and then I think my wife's gonna officially cut me off off-roading for a little while.
She's gonna find out, and she's gonna cut you off, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So we went to Klein Butte, or Bar Road, OHV, whatever you want to call it, and had ourselves a swell time.
It was a good time. It looks like you got a picture of that up on your background there.
I did. I threw myself being, Flexi Friday over here.
Yeah, what you can't see because his head's in the way is he's completely turtled on a rock. Oh, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. He's making that up.
What about you, Aaron? What did you do this weekend?
Well, so Coy went wheeling. I went camping. I camped out at the Klein Buttes OHV area, and then went wheeling the next day with Coy. It was a good time. We talk about it a little bit more, but I think we're going to save it for an entire episode. And just to kind of touch on the tonight part, Aaron drops it like it's hot. I lost a couple items off of my vehicle while we were out wheeling, and Coy had to kind of pick them up after me. So
yeah, you were leaving a literal breadcrumb trail.
That was a Coy's Easter egg hunt.
Not with your GPS, with sheet metal.
No, it was metallic breadcrumbs for sure. So, and Ben is out this week. Oh, I was just gonna say real quick, Ben is out this week. He is his kids are, it's soccer, right, that they're doing. I think it's soccer, like, but I think they're taking the team photos tonight or something like that. So Ben's out. He'll be back next week though.
He may jump in at the end of the episode. We'll see. Also, I wanted to hit and give a little shout out to Overland Pacific Northwest's YouTube channel. Those guys were out at Klein Butte. We kind of just randomly ran into them and wheeled with them a little bit. Super cool guys. Hopefully we can have them on at some point and talk to them. And go check out their videos.
Yeah, hopefully wheel with them in the future.
Yeah. Very chill guys.
Not just have them on, but yeah, good people. So Alan, have you done, you're muted by the way, have you done anything off-road related in the past week or so?
Yeah, I went on a recovery up at Gifford this weekend.
Gifford Pinchot?
Yeah. Track side by side that broke the main spindle off and needed some help. So a couple of us went up there and fixed it, helped them fix it, and go around in the snow.
You fixed it on site?
Yeah, he red labeled the parts from some company, and he was well prepared.
Nice.
He knew what he was doing, so we basically just went and hung out and helped him a little bit.
Was he in a difficult spot? I tracked side by side. Sounds like he can go in pretty deep snow and stuff. You had no issue getting to him?
Yeah, I mean there was probably 4 or 5 feet of snow, but it was that spring hard pack. You couldn't go play off the track very much. It's snowmobile only area till April 1st, so it'd only been open for a week. He had to get the guy actually had to get search and rescued out of there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they broke 2 of them. The exact same thing on 2 different track side by sides, and yeah, they broke his first, and then they were trying to all get out of the woods and his buddies. And they had 8 people in the other one, and then that one gave way, not surprisingly at that point.
Yeah.
And so Yeah, he ended up using that new iPhone deal where you can, it's like a Garmin, but off iPhone. So
I heard about that. I didn't know that it was live.
I didn't either, and that's how he got out. He ended up getting a hold of search and rescue using that new iPhone app thing. He said he couldn't text his wife or anybody, but he could text back and forth for search and rescue. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of neat to know that they had it.
Yeah, that is neat. Do you know if you have to pay for that option, or is it just available to every?
I have no idea. I'm not an iPhone guy, so.
Yeah, me either.
Hopefully, it'll come to Samsung soon.
It's supposed to be coming to the Android system.
Is it?
And it'll be totally better than the iPhone system for sure.
Yep.
Way better.
Agreed.
Yeah. We also want to thank our sponsor, Patriot Patch. Head over to patriotpatch.co and check out their selection of great patches, shirts, cleaning mats, signs, and stickers. You can also join the Patch of the Month Club for $15 and receive a patch, matching sticker, and artist proof each month. Coy, I saw your wife post something on Facebook. There it is. Although your green screen doesn't like it.
There's too much green on this patch. My green screen's eating it.
Uh-oh. How do I make Coy the big one? Is that there we go. Well, I guess that's what you're going to get there.
Yeah.
So
no, it's not going to go. Too much green.
It's a pretty cool patch. You can see right through it.
Yeah. Invisipatch.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here, I'll show it off on mine here. So it's an Easter basket and it says we'll trade for eggs, and it's got linked ammo, loose ammo, smoke grenades, real grenades, suppressors, claymores, 40 caliber or 40 millimeter grenades for a grenade launcher. Yeah, that's the kind of Easter basket I would love to get. So yeah,
if anybody does want to trade a basket like that for eggs, I got plenty.
I've got lots of eggs too. Yeah,
good deal.
Yeah, and Eric, I hope that your wife didn't make you get rid of this patch. There's no girls on this patch. Yeah.
Oh, I do like Eric.
Have tire troubles ever left you deflated? Colby Valve has got you covered. Ever have a valve stem leak? Colby Valve makes reusable and easily replaceable valve stems that don't require you to remove your tire from the wheel. They work with your off-road rig, ATV, side-by-side, commuter vehicle, or even your tractor. Never be left stranded again because of a busted valve stem. They also have a tire repair kit for those punctures that keep you away from doing your favorite thing, wheeling. Make sure to check out colbyvalve.com or ask for them at your local off-road products store.
Sorry about that, Coy. I totally cut you off.
Did.
What were you saying about Eric?
Oh, I just like his last comment. It said, sounds like, I'm assuming he's talking about the GPS signal and the satellite messenger in the new iPhone. Sounds like it works great. You can call for help, but not your wife.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. And I mean, maybe it's best that way. Like maybe your wife's not good at rescuing you. And it's just, maybe she's just best left out of the conversation. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Well, we got our news here. Coy, why don't you, I'll take the first one if that's all right. I'll take this first one because you know how much I love talking about Jeeps. So the first news article comes to us from Car Scoops, and it says useless frame stud can cause fire on some Wranglers. So this recalls for about 58,000 Jeep Wranglers from 2020 to 2023. And what it is there's a stud on the frame that pokes out and it can make contact with the fuel tank in a crash. And apparently the stud has no purpose other than to puncture the fuel tank in a crash. There have been no customer assistance records, no warranty claims, no field reports related to the issue. They're going to send out the recall information to owners around May 12th. If the stud is still present on your frame, they're going to remove it and they're going to put paint over the hole. And if you've already pulled it off, they'll reimburse you to have it fixed. So print out those fake invoices right now and see how much money you can get from Jeep.
Yeah, I took it down to the Mercedes dealer and had it removed.
$1,700 later.
Yeah. Had to get the frame repowder coated.
Yes.
All right. Also, this next story comes from GM Authority. The Silverado ZR2 is now coming with a diesel option for 2024. Previously, it was only available with the naturally aspirated 6.2 V8. But now you're going to get a 3-liter inline. It's called the LZ0 engine that has 305 horsepower at 3750 RPM and about 495 foot-pounds of torque at 2750.
I ran into a guy. Yeah, I ran into a guy when I was camping, and he had a regular Silverado with that engine, and he was telling me they had this 3-liter inline 6 turbo engine, and I had never heard of this engine at all for the Silverado guys. And I'm impressed with those numbers. That's fabulous.
Very much so. Oh, you're back. Okay. It's going to be paired with a 10-speed automatic transmission, and just for comparison, the 6.2-liter power plant that was previously the only option, it has 420 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and about 460 foot-pounds of torque at 41 RPM or 4,100 RPM. So a little less horsepower, a little more torque, but way lower RPM.
Yes. Yeah.
It actually might be pretty good for doing a little crawling if you're going to crawl a mid-sized truck.
Yep.
It's also, instead of just the 6.2, it's going to be available with a 5.3 V8 and a 4.7 liter turbo 4-cylinder, which are really, it's a lot of options, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they're doing so many options.
Yeah, that seems odd as well. No final price of yet, but the 2023 version with the 6.2 starts at $71,000. So I'm expecting several thousand more.
Yeah, I bet you throw that engine and you're at 75 easy. So that's a lot of money for a full-size truck. That's not a. I mean, the ZR2 is a good platform. It's got a lot of.
It's a 1500. Is it really a full-size truck though? Like,
it's considered full-size, but I mean the Raptor is the same. I don't know what a Raptor costs, but I think that they're around that price. Obviously, it's not diesel, but yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of money.
Also, guys,
I should have checked to see what the Raptor and the Power Wagon cost.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm guessing right in there.
I'd be shocked if you could actually come off the showroom with one for that price.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
I see Raptors for like 90 all the time. So,
yeah,
but I don't know.
They're crazy, but what's even sillier is the older, like 2013 or whatever, 2011 V8 Raptors are in like the 20s now. Like you can get them for a pretty cheap price.
Really?
Yeah, look it up. They're in the mid 30s, high 20s fairly often. Yeah, makes me think about it.
Me. Yeah, no doubt.
So the Raptor starts at 76,700, so basically 77,000, and the TRX starts at 84,000. I forgot all about the TRX. I'm going to check the Power Wagon next if they even still make it. Obviously, the Power Wagon though is a 3/4 ton, not a half ton. The Power Wagon starts at 68.5. So, yeah.
Actually, I just Facebook Marketplace a Raptor. We can get a 2013 with 19.5 with 231,000 miles on it. They're asking 19.5.
There you go, Coy.
Don't get me wrong, that's a ton of miles, but
It's a lot of miles.
It's a V8,
Wow.
though.
that's the cheapest Raptor I've ever seen.
Wow.
Man, they're coming down.
But I mean, here's one for 33 with 122,000 on it. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah. Can't buy a used Tacoma for that.
No kidding.
Not even from the 80s.
Yeah. We got a new contest coming up, guys. On May 8th, we're going to be doing a show with Andy from Warren Winch about recovery stories. And leading up to that show, we're asking you, our listeners, to write into us with your own personal stories. And when you recovered someone, something along those lines, some kind of off-road recovery. And then we're going to pick one of those stories at random to win a Warren medium duty accessory kit. Now we got exactly 1 month left, and so far, I mean, we got enough stories, but your chances of winning this are really good. So,
we won't have any stories from our Klein Butte trip because no one got recovered on that trip. No vehicles. I mean, parts did, but no whole vehicles got recovered. There's a picture of the medium duty recovery accessory kit there on the screen. Mark says, where do we submit the story? So you can email it to us, offroadpodcast@gmail.com. You can send it to us through Facebook Messenger. If you are good with carrier pigeons, send those. I think that'd be a whole lot of fun. I might cheat and pick your name if a pigeon showed up at my house with a note tied around its neck. So
smoke signals and carrier pigeons are basically an auto win.
Yeah. I don't know how to read smoke signals though, so make sure you do a good job.
Go prepared with Warren Industries. They produced the first recreational winch in 1959 and lead the industry with their dedication to quality and reliability. When you dig yourself in deep, make sure you have the right tools to get yourself out. Get Warren equipped and go where others can't. Now, let's get ready for adventure and head into our main topic.
Mark says, wait, you haven't been getting my pigeons? I haven't been getting your pigeons, Mark. So that makes me wonder.
I've gotten several.
Oh, I guess they're going to Coy's house. That's why I didn't come.
It saved me a lot of money for Easter dinner. All right. Let's get into our main topic here. And Alan, we like to start out with what we call the Fast 5 Facts. I'm going to ask you these 5 questions. You just kind of off the top of your head. New or old vehicle?
Old.
Old. All right. Summer or winter camping?
Actually like winter camping, I think, better, but I can never find anybody to go, so summer. That's the only time I go.
Yeah, I need to do it more myself.
Yeah.
Rock, sand, snow, or mud?
Can I give 2 answers?
I'll accept it.
So in Oregon, snow. After I discovered Utah, rocks, because rock crawling in Utah is amazing.
Oh man,
Oregon can keep their rocks. They're just muddy, sharp, nasty.
I kind of feel the same way.
we found that out this weekend.
Yeah,
there was a ledge I tried to climb up, and in my brain I was like, if this was Utah, I'd have been up this ledge by now. I just could not get traction on my front tires.
It is a different world for sure.
Yeah. Favorite vehicle brand?
Chevrolet.
All right. And last but not least, favorite tire?
Oh man. If I have to pick one tire, BFG KM3s.
Booyah!
I don't have any of them. I don't own a KM3, but if there was only one tire that I had to pick for the rest of my life, that would be it.
Well, this is just your favorite tire. It doesn't have to be the last tire you'll ever buy. Just what's your favorite?
Well, I realize that, but I'm just saying, like, you're going to make me only pick one. Then you got to pick the one that's the most well-rounded.
And then, do you have any recommendations for somebody that's new to off-roading?
Oh man, go buy a Jeep Rubicon and save yourself years of your life.
says the Chevrolet guy.
Oh, I make fun of Jeeps all the time. It's like my pastime.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just dude, it's so much easier.
Oh yeah.
I love building other vehicles and weird stuff, but like if you're starting from absolute scratch and you're an adult that has the money to make a payment, go buy a Rubicon and save yourself years.
Yeah. Rick's all on board with that. He's got a JL.
Yeah. They're hard to beat for what they are. I mean, you may have to walk home, but
Rick's got AAA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Rick's got AAA. Although I don't know if he's ever used it for himself. He's used it for everybody else. And Ben appreciates you, Rick.
We all do.
All right. Well, let's learn a little bit more about you, Alan. So how did you get started in off-roading?
So I've been riding dirt bikes since I was a kid with my dad. And then I think I was like 15 and I went up in the woods with some guys, older guys from high school that had wheeling rigs, and I was just hooked. It was like dirt biking, but with a heater. And so pretty much as soon as I turned 16, I used to go thrash on my little Ford Ranger 2-wheel drive up in the woods, and graduated to a Chevy 4-wheel drive very shortly after that. She traded my dirt bike for it because I wanted a 4-wheel drive so bad. And then just took off from there, When I was a kid, it was just stock stuff, maybe some mud tires. But then just slowly started building rigs, and here I am.
Well, you kind of answered it, I think, but what was the first vehicle you took off-road?
Actual vehicle was my grandpa's 67 Ford Bronco, completely rusted out because it was in northern Wisconsin.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say
it was a real piece of work, but he let me take it up on their property.
You probably wish that you had the non-rusted version out of a 67 Ford Bronco.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's still one of my. Even though I'm not a huge Ford fan, it's still one of my favorite vehicles ever. It's on my list.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, what's your favorite rig to hit the trail in today?
Well, my trail rig's a '89 Ford Bronco, even though I just said
I wasn't
a Ford. Yeah.
A what?
A Ford Bronco. A big one. It was a fluke, okay? It's a long story, but I ended up with a Ford Bronco.
So the Chevy guy who's not a Ford guy drives a Bronco. Okay. I'm just trying to piece this all together.
I mean, quick. I was gifted an F-150 by my old boss, and I turned it into a sand dunes rig by making it turning the front TTB suspension. And then I got a family, and I needed something that would sit more people. So we took the suspension out of that and put it into a Ford Bronco. And then it snowballed from there.
That's a good snowball.
Yeah. No, it's a decent rig. It was,
so you got the TTBs on the Bronco?
Yep, it's still TTB. Probably not for much longer. But right now it's still TTB.
All right.
What is your most embarrassing trail moment?
Oh, this one's super easy. So first time I went to Champagne Creek, which was shortly before we went koi. And long story short, I was having a weird mental day, and we were down in a hole and there was a guy right behind me in a completely stock European imported diesel Hilux. I think it's called a Hilux, right? You Toyota guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the four-door Toyota that you can't buy here. One of those. And he needed pulled up the hill. And so we pulled him. It's right by the stretcher carry, if you remember where that is.
Yeah.
So I pulled him up the hill around the corner, and then I was trying to get through the next creek that you have to cross right there as you come down the hill. Yeah. I didn't realize he had like panicked and quit driving the thing. So apparently he was fully locked up, sliding sideways on 2 wheels, and I was still dragging him because I was trying to make it through the mud hole. And his kid was in the truck, and it didn't make me look great to a bunch of people I'd never met before, but yeah, he didn't roll. But I felt bad. Like, I mean,
dragging him.
if it had been a Jeep, who cares? But, you know, it was, you know, kind of a collector vehicle. I got to quit making fun of Jeeps.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I need customers. There's a lot of Jeeps in the world.
Well, if you just put your company name and address and phone number and website on the bottom of one of those rubber ducks, and you just start handing out those rubber ducks, those Jeep people love those rubber ducks.
Yeah, like Jeep guys I know aren't a huge fan of them, but
well, they probably don't need you to work on their rig. So the ones with rubber ducks.
I mean, everything bolts on, so it's not like you really need anybody to work on it.
Oh, man. Oh, it's getting deep in the show.
I gotta stop.
So
I love Jeeps. Go buy one. They're great.
Tell us where your favorite place to wheel is.
Moab.
Okay. Do you have
Over
a favorite
Sam
trail
Ball.
out there? Do you have a favorite trail out there, Moab?
I haven't actually got to do that many of them. Of the ones I've done so far, probably I made Rick mad. Of the ones I've done now, Poison Spider probably has been the best. Top of the World's pretty amazing just because of the view at the end, and it's more like an Oregon-like trail where it's an actual kind of to a destination trail. But as far as just fun, Poison Spider's pretty fun, and then Hell's Revenge, of course. Like, it's so iconic that.
Yeah,
I do it the 3 times I've been there. I've done it just because you have to.
Any places that you want to go wheel that you haven't yet? Like what's on that bucket list?
The Rubicon and Fordyce are definitely on the list. Someday soon.
You gonna build up a Jeep for that?
No. I'm just gonna rent one. They named the Jeep after it, right? Someone will do it.
Well, they make badges. You got to get the badges to put on the side of your rig. So I just figured you want to do it in a Jeep so you can have the Jeep badges.
Oh, that's right. You get the little badge above it.
Trail badges, yeah.
I could put one on my Bronco. I'd probably get some bad looks. But...
You put a trail rated badge on your Bronco, it's gonna start breaking down. Get death wobble. You don't want to catch it.
They're great toy.
All right. Well, let's learn a little bit more about your business now. So tell us about Lifeline Fab. What is Lifeline Fab?
Okay, so we are a full vehicle build company with like a side of outdoor manufacturing. So I will build ground up wheel and builds for you. I'll do wiring. I've done a ton of wiring. What
Me
else?
too.
Yeah. And you're a low voltage electrician, right? I'm not that.
Ouch, man, that hurts. No, I'm a regular electrician.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Huge difference between low voltage and
huge.
Yeah, I'm a fake electrician that pretends.
That hurts me to my soul to be called a low voltage electrician.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know that was offensive to electricians.
That's almost like calling me a Jeep owner.
Oh,
that's like calling a
lineman in trouble. No, so like I've done a bunch of full vehicle wires. That's kind of our market that we're trying to aim for. Just like custom stuff that guys can't really handle themselves, or they don't want to handle themselves, or they don't have the equipment for. We'll come in and finish that up. Doing a couple of them right now. They're like that, like projects that kind of got stalled because it was the more technical aspects they needed done. stuff like that. And then, like I said, I'll do a full vehicle build. I'll bolt a lift kit on if you want. I mean, I'll put a light bar on. I just went through a 4th gen 4Runner for a lady and basically fixed all the millennial stuff that some of the previous owner had done to it. And built some skid plates and stuff. So just anything off-road related, I'll do. And then, like I said, and that's the service side. And then we're doing, trying to start I don't know if anybody's doing this, but like, how there's the online cutting companies that you can just send a DXF file to and they'll cut it for you and mail order you the parts. So, that you have to be able to obviously draw the parts for them to do that. So I'm offering to draw those parts for people. You can take a picture. Nice. Like most of the time, using AutoCAD now, you can take a picture and then give me a measurement, and I can almost always nail the measurements and get it to the right scale to build brackets and stuff that way. I'm calling it a remote CAD design for anybody that wants to do it, or just, you could mail me cardboard cutout and I could make it into CAD if you wanted to make a bunch of them or something. We do have the ability to do plasma cutting, but it's almost cheaper just to send it to one of those guys, and then it's laser. The edges are beautiful and the dimensions are perfect. And, anymore, they do so much of it that their cost is so low on it that you're almost better off using them. But I'm offering to do the design work for you if you want something like that.
Can you tell us about the products that you are making right now in-house?
Yeah. So I have a set of off-road wheel chocks that I've actually been working on for years, and that's kind of what started the thing, was working on those on the side just because I wanted a way to winch without sliding all over the place. Yep, there they are right there. The originals were made out of steel, the prototypes. I built like 5 sets, and then everybody complained about how heavy they were, so I made the last 5 sets out of aluminum with steel teeth. They work really well. They also work good as a high lift jack base, so you don't have to carry a spare high lift jack base. There's a video on my website of me using them at Sand Hollow where I stalled my 9,500 pound winch out, winching against a rock on the slick rock. Like I said, they work good in snow and ice. If it's too soft, they'll sink, but they're purposely designed to give you a little flotation, where most like tow truck chocks are just a set of spikes. They look like a regular wheel chock with a set of spikes on them, where these are designed with a little bit of flotation, and they stack together so they don't take up a ton of room. But that started it.
They nest, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, one's actually built a little bigger than the other one, so those two you see in that picture right there will actually nest together. So they only take up the room of one of them.
It looks like the one that the jack is on looks like it's a tiny bit smaller than the other one, so that's cool.
It could be. I don't know which one's which in that picture, but
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was started as something that I built for myself, and then just turned into, I should start selling these, and then that's kind of what got me started on thinking towards, I'll be a products company. I love building vehicles, but I also love to R&D products. So I've been trying to get a line of outdoor products, not just off-road stuff. So camp tables, folding aluminum camp tables, toilet systems. What else do I have? I don't know. Battery boxes for off-roading. I've got a new air compressor mount that I'm working on for running 2 Viair air compressors. I just got it here. What else? About it. My website's got all my products on it, but right now everything is order, and then I will build it, because inventory is tough to manage. Eventually, hopefully we're going to get to the point where I'll have at least one of everything in stock.
Okay.
We're working on it.
So let's talk about these off-road off-road wheel chocks. I was kind of called off the jack off-road base. Yeah. So what What kind of what do people do with a wheel chock when they're off-roading?
Okay, so mostly it's so somebody gets stuck, right? And you always have the constant problem of you go to winch them out and they're more stuck than you have grip on the ground, and all you do is slide towards them. That it was their original intended purpose, was that you could winch up against them and they dig into the ground, and they work phenomenally well. I use them nonstop for that.
I can attest to how well they work, since when you were building these, you let me have a set for, I don't know, 6 months to a year. Then you finally like, hey, could I have those back? I was like, crap. I was hoping you'd just make a new set.
Oh, that's still laying around. You can have them.
Oh, I'll absolutely take them. They work amazing. And to just explain a little bit, they're kind of L-shaped, I guess. So you actually, you don't just pull up against a wheel chock. You pull. There's a flat base to it, so you pull onto the wheel chock, and then there's that, upright part you pull against. And you don't move. They dig in a little bit, and if you have something like a real lightweight Jeep, once again Jeeps, and you're trying to pull out your buddy in a Super Duty, it's impossible sometimes. And with something like this, it just locks you in.
Yeah, they work. There's some tricks to them, and there's some limitations. If it's too soft, like anything, they'll fall through. Generally, I found when it's that soft, you just dig yourself in, though. It's not as big of a problem. But like I said, on ice, I use them on snow recoveries all the time. They work amazing. If you can tie them to your front bumper, they work even better, but you have to have the right front bumper set up.
I assume you probably put them under the heaviest portion of your vehicle, which is almost always going to be the front end of your vehicle.
Well, you put them on whichever end has a winch, because that end's going to always pull down as you know what I mean? I mean, if you hit your brakes on dry pavement and start winching, what happens, right? Your front end of your vehicle goes down because it starts loading the suspension up. So then you're, same deal. If you want to carry 4, you can buy 4 of them from me and put them on all the tires. You can be a real baller.
I honestly would rather have a set of these than a set of Max Tracks. Like, I would use it. I think they're more useful.
Yeah, I don't use Max Tracks at all. But these they've been incredibly useful, and I really want to get them out there in the community. But unfortunately, right now they're so time consuming to build in an aluminum set that I have to charge enough for them that it scares most people away. So I'm working on a design, an all steel design that will be simpler and not have bolt-on parts.
Let's get Ben to 3D print you some.
Yeah, out of plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've destroyed a couple of these messing around with them to see what they were capable of. So I don't know if plastic could do it, but
probably not.
Yeah, we're working on it. Like I said, I've had some interest, but everybody that sees the price of the aluminum ones chokes. And, like I said, we're working on a simpler design to make it more readily available to the general public.
Do you have any other new products that you want to talk about? Or
yeah, you want to see my compressor mount?
I do.
Because you need one, Coy.
Just speaking about that.
I know, because I know what you use right now. You see it?
Let me make you big on the screen.
Yeah, make me big.
Let's see here. There we go.
Okay.
Now you're big.
So we had a bunch of problems with ARB compressors with water. So I started using these air compressors. They're like the industry standard and 12-volt compressors they have been forever. You can get them on Amazon and anywhere else. You can get them next day if you need one to replace the one that went bad. But I've never had one go bad. So I know it's really hard to tell on my phone. But basically, we just built a flat mount that has all the manifold on it. And the manifold.
So it's going to come with the manifold and that pop-off valve?
The pop-off valve, the electrics, those 2 extra ports that are down on the bottom of your screen right now will be for running air lockers. It's going to come with everything you need to hook up. because an airlocker is actually what they call British straight pipe thread, not a regular American pipe thread. It'll come with adapters for that. It comes with your choice of what fittings, whether you want industrial or automotive on that. All that. We'll sell them with the wiring kit for $500, which is $250-ish less than the ARB. ARB is great. The dual ARB is a great setup. Don't get me wrong.
Wait, you're selling it with the air compressors for $500?
Yeah, with the air compressors for $500.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, so and it's almost as compact as an ARB dual, and it's almost as fast.
What CFM are those compressors?
Let me look. Just a second. It says on them. It's 3.28 for the set.
So
I don't know.
6.4 combined or something, probably.
Something like that.
Question of the comment: is there a port for a tank or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a full extra port even if you were running dual ARBs. So without having to add an extra T, if you just want to go over to tank, you can just take that one port over to tank.
Oh.
So I tried to add enough ports to the thing that you wouldn't run out of ports without making it ridiculous.
Gotcha.
That is really cool. And I've been trying to. I was hoping my Viair would die so I could get something else for like the last 4 years.
And you can't kill them.
I tried to get Coy to run it over this weekend.
I've had it since 2012. I think for some reason I think mine's like a 3.4 CFM, but it's like a 33% duty cycle.
Oh, you have that one.
I have filled up 10 trucks, all 4 tires, like just running for an hour nonstop. You cook an egg on it, like, and I'm not exaggerating when I say you can cook an egg on it. You crack an egg on that head, it would cook. And it just keeps going. Like it literally won't die. They're pretty incredible.
Yeah, so these ones are the 450s that I have on this one, and they are 100% duty cycle, like 160 psi, I think, max on them, which nobody needs that much. But and then the same bracket will fit the 480s, which are actually pump a little more air. I don't know the spec, but they're also 100% duty cycle. And I like them because I like to run duals, and it's a complete dual setup. The relays are separate. The power wires are going to be separate. They're going to be completely redundant. Because if you run an air locker and you lose a compressor, I don't want one compressor taking out both. So the whole setup's going to be complete dual redundant. We'll run off one compressor if the whole other compressor goes bad.
Which I assume with an ARB, if you had one go bad, the whole system's down.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how an ARB is wired.
Yeah.
I know it's a common power wire, so if you had a short in one, it would take the fuse out, and then you're done.
Yeah.
Which is the reason mine's going to come with dual fuses.
Can we talk about this right here a little bit?
Yeah, so I'll talk about a toilet.
Yeah, you sent us a picture of what looks like a toilet on top of a table. So. And you mentioned earlier that you sell toilets. So what's that all about? So you're an electrician and a plumber?
Yeah. Oh my! I'm losing my phone. Hang on. Okay. So actually, I'm a plumber, kind of, but I'm not certified to do anything. So my other one of my other hobbies is rafting. So we're building custom raft frames and rafting accessories, which a lot of rafting accessories happen to also be really good for overlanding. Overlanding is, basically just rafting out of a car. So as a rafter, you're required to carry a toilet on huge chunks of rivers. So all the systems out there are like $500 and they're really heavy. I wanted to build something lighter. So basically that is what's called a life latch bucket, which are UN certified sealed food buckets that have a really good O-ring on them. They're like if you guys are, You know, the snap-on lids that turn a regular bucket into a screw lid. I can't.
The gamma.
Seal.
Yeah, gamma lid.
So these are like a gamma, except the threads are actually built into the bucket. The problem with a gamma is if you get it full of water and step on it, the lid's not on there that good, and the lid pops off of it. So if it's full of water, you don't really care. But if it's full of, the other
waste,
waste, that's a bad deal. So it's, I built these. It's basically a toilet seat on top of one of those lids. But the cool part about it is to the very left, that's actually a clean out that you screw on it, and then you can take it to any RV dump to clean it out. The whole thing weighs like 8 pounds. So you can take it to any RV dump to clean it.
You just flip it upside down, and then is that a hose port above it? You can spray inside there?
Yeah, so it's actually an RV tank flusher. The little port to the left is actually an RV tank flusher fitting that's got the spray nozzles on it. Then obviously the one on the right is just a standard RV dump port. So it comes with all 3 lids. And I'm trying to get into some more. I'm not an overlander, but I do a lot of camping and I have a lot of commonalities with it. So for overlanding, I think they'd be a good deal.
Gotcha. Well, I want to hear about this trip you just went on to something called Winter Jamboree. So what and where is Winter Jamboree?
Winter Jamboree is down at Sand Hollow is what the common name of it is. It's actually Sand Mountain, Hurricane, St. George, whatever you want to call it. So it's a big 4-wheel drive convention in January down there to go run the trails. They have a vendor show. They have some like hangout stuff at night. Then during the day, you can sign up to run trails. And that picture we're looking at right there, that's the parking lot. And that was early in the morning before it really got busy, but it's crazy. Like they have 30 different lines that hold 20 cars, and those will be full on the busy days. They said like 1,000 participants last year.
Wow.
900 Jeeps and then 100 of other things. It's
so you get in line for the trail that you want to run. Is that what the lines are for?
Yeah. So you actually go online. They have it really well organized. So you go online before the event. And there's trail. If you guys go on Winter 4x4 Jamboree or Trail Hero, there's a trail description of every trail out at Sand Hollow out there. So if you go look at that, you just go through and pick what trails sound fun to you, and you just go sign up for them on the day you want to, and it tells you what day to be there or what time to be there, and you get an email that tells you what line to get in.
Wow.
And they have trail leaders. Our trail leaders I went with, the first day I went with some guys called Full Size Invasion, and they kind of do their own thing. Yeah, right there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the day of Full Size Invasion, and that was the coolest truck I've ever been around. That's why I included a picture of it. Corporate 14 bolt front end, just beautiful patina, just gorgeous. Anyway, so you get a group. I went with Full Size Invasion 2 days. I went with a regular trail group full of Jeeps 1 day on the maze. And the trail leaders and the regular groups they're amazing. They do a great job of spotting. They got a bone stock. That guy had a bad day. They got a bone stock JT, I guess it would be, Gladiator, through the maze, which is an 8 with no body damage by spotting him.
They got it through which trail?
The maze.
The maze.
Which is where that Jeep's laying on its side right there. And
so that's a difficult trail to get through with no body damage.
It's an 8, and Gladiators are insanely long. I never realized how long those things were until I went wheeling with one. Man, they rub their butts on everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know the feeling.
Yeah, well, I guess, driving a normal pickup that hasn't been chopped,
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's so well organized. I was impressed. I am 100% not a trail ride group guy because of the pace. I had to tax my patience. It took us 8 hours to do the maze, which is like half a mile or something.
Oh, wow. How many people were in the group?
20. But it's also, the maze is nonstop obstacles.
Okay.
And it was insanely cold. And apparently, when it gets cold there, the rocks don't have enough heat in them to have you guys know the crazy Moab traction. But when it's really cold, it's not like that. So it was slick. It was slick. We had breakdowns. We had, it was just what it was. I ran up the net. I ran it 2 days later by myself, and it took me like 45 minutes.
What size tire? What size tire would you recommend for the maze, just so people can kind of have an idea how hard it is?
You could do it on 35s for sure with a short wheelbase.
Okay.
And not a ton of overhang. There's only one spot that you can't. Well, it depends. Like, so Sand Hollow is, you could drive wherever you want at Sand Hollow. It's not like Moab where you have to stay on the trail.
So you can bypass whatever you want as long as that's easy.
There's almost a bypass for every obstacle at Sand Hollow, except for coming out of the maze. There is no good bypass. All the options are hard at one spot.
So the exit is the bypass essentially.
Yeah,
because every other option's harder.
There's 4 different options. One of them, if you guys watch much YouTube, you've probably seen You Gotta Be Nuts, right? Well, the obstacle's called You Gotta Be Nuts, and like that's really hard. And then even the normal old school trails like really hard, and then the bypass is pretty hard. So if you didn't have 35s and lockers, you'd struggle bad. But if you got something long, I would definitely say 37.
So what all is there to do at Winter Jamboree? I know there's more than just wheeling. So
okay, so they had mostly wheeling, but so 2 nights. Two nights they had a vendor show. It's your standard vendor show. You could go to, talk to people, hang out. And then at night, 2 nights they had an event at a local farm that apparently has a swimming pool. They had RC races. I didn't go. They had RC races. They had live music. They had food vendors and all that stuff to just go hang out with people and meet people in the community. And that was all free. The vendor show, I don't know if the vendor show is free or not. I think it was. It's a cool event, and the whole thing's they donate. I think almost all the proceeds go straight to the land use communities down there, organizations down there.
Do you just pay a fee to go, or do you have to pay per trail? Or
you have to pay per trail, and it's $50. But honestly, I think it's a bargain at $50, especially if you've never been to Sand Hollow. Again, it's the trail leaders, at least the trail leaders I had on the one day. The full-size invasion guys, like, it's just let's go hang out. They're great guys, and they'll spot you if you need it. But it's more like wheeling with buddies. But with one day I went on an organized ride. Those guys were amazing spotters.
So, that's good.
No, like if you wanted to go and say like you wanted to run Milt's Mile or one of those real famous trails there, but you've never been, like, go pay the $50. It's well worth it to run with their group because they'll get you through it and keep you from getting in trouble.
Except for that one guy in the picture up there.
Well, he had a broken front end, and it's a Jeep. They like to lay down and take a nap every once in a while.
I see. It's just taking a little snooze there.
I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened there. I was back when I heard it happen, so I walked up there and took the one picture I took for the day of the poor Jeep laying outside. Thankfully, it was pure sand in the bottom of that wash. It didn't do a single thing to it.
Oh, wow.
So you mentioned that it took 8 hours to go through that trail. Yeah. How many days long is Winter Jamboree? So how much trail time do you get?
Well, it's was it six trail days? No. It's 5 trail days. So you could, if you wanted to, you could get 5 almost full days of trails. And even
Okay.
if you did an easy trail and then it ended quickly, you're already up on Sand Mountain. You can team up with a couple people. Like first day we were the full size invasion, we were done on probably by 1 or 2 o'clock. So we went and hit a bonus trail called Mine Threat that I'd never even heard of, and it was insane. Like, wow, if you don't like heights, don't take that trail. But it was
so the trails aren't closed like how it is at Easter Jeep Safari. There's people are still using the trails while this event's going on.
Yeah, so technically it's closed, but I don't think there's no, it's not enforced. And after 2 o'clock, all the groups are started in. So as long as you start in the normal direction, you would never catch them.
Okay.
Or if you did, they wouldn't care. No,
go ahead.
It was well worth the trip. I've never gone to an organized 4-wheel drive event before like this, and it was.
I was surprised when you went and said how many people there were, because I know you have like a 5 vehicle limit on your enjoyment. Like you're like, if it's over 5, you're like, maybe I won't go.
Yeah, I had to, like I said, I had to pack my patience. So Justin was with me. He rode with me that day. We did the maze, and he's very sociable. So he was just walking, having fun, talking to, meeting people. But yeah, no, it was. But I met some great people. I made fun of a lot of Jeeps while we're standing there watching them struggle up obstacles. But, it was fun. It was funny when I pulled up into my line. And when you sign up what your vehicle is, right? Some of it's because they want to know that you have a decent enough vehicle that you can make a rated 8 trail or 7, whatever you signed up for. And I pull up, and as soon as I pull up, the trail leader looks at his clipboard and he looks up at me and he goes, "Alan Husky." I'm like, "How'd you guess?" He's like, "Well, I don't think any other Ford Broncos are showing up." And there was one Toyota pickup in our group, Toyota mini truck or whatever you guys call it, a mid-80s. And there was me, and then there was a whole 18
Jeeps,
2-letter whatever they are.
Gotcha.
So
what would you say your like most favorite thing about the event was, and then also your least favorite?
My favorite, like, dude, it's not even about. It's just the community feeling of having 1,000 wheelers all in the same place was pretty cool. And their organization was amazing. Like, just watching how well organized they had it figured out was fun. My least favorite, 980 Jeeps. Just kidding. Just kidding. So the town next to Sand Mountain's called Hurricane, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was Hurricane.
It is Hurricane. Sorry, I know.
Hurricane.
It's
like Merca. It's like Merca.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason it's called Hurricane. I've been there twice now, and there were 2 days when you didn't want to go outside. It was 40 degrees sustained wind and sand blowing everywhere. They literally have a freeway that goes through the middle of the split Sand Hollow State Park from Sand Mountain Recreation Area. They have to have front end loaders stationed next to the freeway there to push the sand off of the freeway on it. They don't even move them, from what I can tell, because every time I've been there, they've been sitting there. The wind blows. The wind doesn't blow every day, but when it does, it can get miserable.
And that's not a wintertime thing necessarily. That's just year round there.
I have no idea. I've been there I was there in January this year, and it did it one day where it was so bad you didn't want to go outside. And then I was there in late March last year, and I actually ended my trip early because 2 days it blew so hard it wasn't even worth being out there. So it happened. I don't know when all it happened, but it happened.
So is that why you picked Moab as your favorite over Sand Hollow?
No. Well, I like Moab because of the entire experience. It's more it's more like a destination trail going to see something than where Sand Hollow has awesome rock crawling, and I would say the maze is probably as beautiful as anything at Moab. It's every bit as cool as Hell's Revenge, but the whole experience with the river right there at Moab and the big cliffs you can go overlook and all the history and everything else at Moab, it's just more my jam. A lot of people like Sand Hollow better now than they like Moab, but
I'm hearing that a lot. But Sand Hollow doesn't have a national disaster old uranium mine that they're cleaning up right next to the river.
No, they don't.
Moab has that.
Instead, they have like 8 million condos that are invading. So it's huge. That's the fastest growing metropolitan area in the country right now.
Oh wow!
It's like Bend on steroids, basically. It's absolutely insane there. But it hasn't really hit hurricane yet, but it's working its way. St. George is right next to hurricane. And, the condos in the neighborhoods are moving that direction. Actually, if you follow the news, that's what the flubub with the BLM land swaps about there. They're afraid it's going to end up being houses.
Oh wow!
So, besides Jeeps, what kind of vehicles would you recommend taking to Sand Hollow or to Winter Jamboree? Like how built do you think someone needs to be to participate?
They have so their rating system I think starts at a 2 maybe and goes to a 14 for rear steer buggies. They keep adding numbers for it started at 10 and then they're like, well, these guys are nuts and they're doing stuff we never thought possible, so they keep adding numbers to the rating system.
Okay.
But a number 2 or 3, I would take my crew cab Chevy pickup down. No problem, wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
And they have group runs for 2s and 3s, and then I think the hardest they do is like an 11. So if you have a rear steer buggy, go for it.
So what you have the Bronco on 37 that's pretty well built. What would be like the highest level trail you'd do in that?
Well, the highest I've done is the maze, and it's an 8, and I did not struggle. Yeah, especially if it was summer and the rocks were warm, I would have had no problems whatsoever. So I would try a 9, but I think in a 9 with that size body, you probably wouldn't come back with the body looking like it. I mean, I never come back from Sand Hollow with the body looking like it did before I left anyway, but a 9 would probably do some rearrangement of some body panels. So, those waterfall climbs are crazy there. They're steep enough at Sand Hollow where you get pretty worried about going over backwards if you did get
really?
traction. Oh yeah, that you got to be nuts. Obstacle and the launching pad on mine Frat video does not do justice to how steep those are. Like a sand dune. Like a sand dune that's completely razor backed and it seems pretty steep.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to those obstacles. They're crazy steep. The fact that people drive up them is just nutty.
Yeah, videos never do anything off-road justice as far as I can tell so far.
If you have not been to Utah wheeling, save all your vacation. Don't spend any money for a year and go. I don't care what kind of wheeling rig you have. It will change wheeling for you.
I was just telling somebody today, trying to talk them into going at some point. It's nearly a religious experience. You'll have an awakening. It totally changes.
It totally changes. It will change your life. If you're into off-roading, it will 100% change your life. We're moving there in November. Yeah, I went for the first time 2 years ago, and then I took my wife. She's been twice now, just to kind of go drive around and look at places. And it took one time going, and she's like, "Yep, let's do it. Let's move." So,
wow,
we're moving there in November. And I love Oregon. Don't get me wrong, Oregon's amazing, but there's just something special about that place.
I'm sure Oregon would be a great place to visit. Where can our listeners find you if they want to find more about your products?
Okay, so I have a actual website, lifelinefab.com, and I'm on all social medias as Lifeline Fab. I'm not very active on social media, not near as active as I should be. But that is where, just if you type in Lifeline Fab, you'll find me at lifelinefab.com. As easy as it gets. So it's actually where you'll see my list of products and pricing. And services. There's a whole page full of different services we offer, and they describe it a lot better than I can in person.
All right. So all of our listeners out there who have been brewing some ideas of some CAD design work, and you've got it drawn out, sketched out, cut out on cardboard, cocktail napkins, reach out to Alan, and he'll
like I said,
he'll
be a
make
cell
it
phone
happen.
picture.
Yeah.
All it takes is a picture. So, and it's so much faster. I mean, even if you're building just a couple of them, sometimes it's just so much easier, and you get the job, you can get so much more professional than trying to build it by hand.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've seen some of that stuff that's cut out, and it's just so clean and smooth.
Oh, if it comes out of a laser, it's unreal.
Yeah. Well, thank you to our listeners for hanging out with us this week and chiming in the comments with all the jokes and the questions. We appreciate you guys. If you aren't doing that, you can check us out live on social media, or where most of the people who are in the comments is our YouTube. If you want to join the chat, it's a lot of fun. Monday nights, 7 p.m. Pacific. We appreciate you guys out there. Make sure you're helping us grow by sharing us with your friends, sharing this podcast to other places, and telling people about us. We appreciate you guys. God bless America.
Don't forget to visit Patriot Patch and join the Patch of the Month Club. Check out our Gaia affiliate link for up to 40% off. Also, don't forget to head over to Warren Medical Gear Outfitters and Colby Valve to see all their great gear. We're a proud part of the Firearms Radio Network. Got a comment or question? Send it to us through our webpage at firearmsradio.net or through our social media channels by searching for Off-Road Podcast. Also, you can listen to us live at overlandradio.com Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific. When off-road, please remember to have fun, tread lightly, be safe, and courteous. Thanks for listening.
I like Rick's comments saying Jeeps rock, but he forgot the roll part. They rock and roll.